Hey guys, welcome to our first baby turban tutorial. The first thing I am going to film today is how to make the base. These are all different types of tops, meaning this is a bow, this is a knot, but the base in all of these turbans is the same. This is what we call a base right here. Once you make this, you have a choice of adding whatever you want on the top. That's right here. So there are 4 different types of how to make your base, and I am going to show you guys how I make mine. So the first thing you will need is your pattern. The pattern is on my website. I am going to put a link so you guys can download. It's free. I know there's somebody out there who's gonna ask, what measurements, what do you need? The pattern is free. You don't need any measurements. So you are going to join. The pattern comes in 4 papers. You are going to put these together, and you are going to use tape and glue these parts, then cut whatever size you want. I added a newborn, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 12 months, and 1 to 3 years. Our babies' heads are different. I might have put 3 months, but your baby has a smaller head or a bigger head. Adjust according to what you want. Adjust according to your baby's head's fit. Add an inch or take down an inch. Whatever way will work for you. This is just to give you an idea on how to cut your pattern. So I'm going to join mine, then come back with an already cut pattern, and we will start with style number 1 on how to make our turban base. I have already cut my pattern to whatever size I wanted, and this is how it looks. So style number 1 on how to make the base is you take your fabric just as normal as it looks. You are going to lay it there. Put your pattern on top. Take your piece of scissors and trace and cut. And once you cut, this is how it looks. This is how it looks. Easy, simple. You don't need a sewing machine, you don't need a serger. As good, as easy as is. The bad thing about this is it might stretch, and the fabric might start coming out. So use it at your own risk. Style number 2 is to use your fabric when folded, meaning you are going to fold your fabric like this. Put your pattern on top. Then take your scissors and cut around. And this is how it looks. Where is it? So when you cut your fabric when it's folded, this is how it looks before we use the gathers. This is best used if your fabric is not thick enough, or if you just want an extra layer to make it warm. So you're going to cut, and this is folded. Again, with this you do not need a sewing machine or a serger. I'm going to show you an example of 2 baby bonnets that I made using this style. So as you can see, with these 2, I folded my fabric. This is how it looks when you use it with your fabric folded. So style number 3, first thing you will need to make a little bit of adjustments to our pattern, and you will also need either a sewing machine or a serger. But okay, style number 3 we will need a sewing machine. Style number 4 is the one we will need a serger. So we are going to take another piece of paper and adjust our pattern. So we are going to take our regular brown paper. This is wrapping paper. I get mine from the dollar store. It's large enough so I don't have to spend time joining white paper. So we are going to need a brown paper and our pattern. We still need this pattern, but what we are going to do is we are going to add 1.5 inch from our pattern to the brown paper, meaning 1.5 inch. We are going to add an extra 1.5 inch. On both sides. So what we are going to do is we are going to trace and cut the piece of we're going to cut this piece of paper. Don't need to worry, it doesn't need to be very perfect, so just cut. So this is our new pattern for style number 2 and 3. So for style number 2 and 3 we are going to cut our fabric as we cut earlier, meaning you don't need to fold. You are just going to put your fabric and cut. So this is how it looks after it's cut. You don't need to, I'm going to repeat, you don't need to fold the fabric, just use one side. So what we're going to do is with style number 3 we will need a sewing machine. What I do is, this is my fabric, right? I fold 1 inch, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take this to my sewing machine and I am going to use a zigzag stitch. Do not use a straight stitch, it won't allow it to stretch, and when you're putting it on your baby it will come off. Use a zigzag stitch because a zigzag stitch lets the fabric stretch. So this is how it looks when you use a zigzag stitch. So we folded, then I use my zigzag stitch to sew on top. This is the outcome. Let's go to style number 3. Style number 3 is we cut the fabric the same way like we cut the first and the third way. We do not fold. This is how it looks after you have cut it. So what we are going to do is we are going to take this fabric. Please pay attention at what I am doing. So this is our right side and this is our wrong side. So what we are going to do is we are going to measure and fold 1 inch or 1.5. And once I have folded it like this, let me zoom in so you can see what I am doing. So this is our cut piece, right? We are going to fold. You either use 1 inch or 1.5, because remember we have already adjusted our pattern, because we are using this pattern, the one that's adjusted, not the previous one. So fold 1.5 or 1 inch. After you fold it like this, so this is our right side, this is our wrong side. What you're going to do is you are going to fold this again and do that. I am going to repeat so I can be clear. I am going to fold like that, then fold again like this and pin it. And when we go to our serger, we are going to sew on this side, right, from here to here. And this is how it's going to look once it's done. You see that? This is how it looks once we have used the serger, and the outside is going to look like this. This is my best and perfect turban base to do it. You use a serger here, and this is how it's going to look on the outside. The good thing is it will stretch as large as you want to. This is why you use a serger on knit fabric, because it stretches. But don't be disappointed, even if you use a zigzag stitch, it will still stretch. So we are done making all the styles on how to cut and make the base. There is then there's this one, and there's the one we used the zigzag stitch. With all the four, in order for it to come and become a base where you can add whether you want a knot or a knot again, or if you want to add this or add this, with all the four styles, the gather is the same. Take your hand needle right here with your thread that matches the color of your fabric. We are going to start from this end to this end. So just up, down, up, down, up, down. We are using a running stitch. So after you have finished gathering, this is how it looks. You are just going to join this and this, then tie up and get ready to add whatever you want on top. this is how it looks once it's done. Whether you use the folded method or the row method or the zigzag method, after you gather, all of them will look like this one. This is how we make a turban base. Then after that, you can add whatever you want on top, whatever you choose. There are many ways to add whatever you want on top of your plain turban base. So do not worry, I will have videos showing you how to make each one of these tops and many more. Just keep watching and stay tuned. I will see you guys in my other video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye guys.